What's good, YouTube? So I've been gone for a while. I've been over in Thailand. However, I'm back. So it's time to get back on these charts, to get back in action and get back to making this bag. So one thing I want to point out is this. I've been reviewing a chart, and US30 is one of the big pairs that me and my group like to trade. So one thing I realized was that it looks like it's setting up for a trap. All right. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with multi-time frame analysis because sometimes it can throw you off and you can get lost in the sauce. So I always tell people to start from the highest time frame, do your top-down analysis, and then focus on your trades that way. All right, so now if we're looking at the top-down analysis, right, and I'm starting right here on a weekly. On a weekly, I can see that price definitely needs to come back up here and retest this area up here. So if we are to sell, the sale should come back up here in this area, whether that's right here or whether that's up here somewhere right here in this range, right? These are the two areas that we want to see. So if I'm looking at this here, this right here will be my sell, that will be my sell, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I would want to see price get back up here to this area, right? So this right here technically is the retest. So let me change the color of that. So I can put a red horizontal line right there. Boom, plugged in. So this right here is the actual level that we need to retest on US30. Now this level is 41,517. So price technically needs to come back to that area based off of the fact that we already hit this support block down here. So what price right now is doing what's considered a rebound, and it's rebounding from this area down here and coming back up here from the level that it came from. So this is where the breakout happens. So price need to come back and retest this breakout before we do any sort of continuation back to the downside. So now going down to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, what I can realize is this. So we got a little bit of divergence going on because we have mixed signals, right? So we have the trend saying that everything is down, but right here on our oscillator at the bottom, you can see that we have a sell, and it's telling us that we should really be focused on sales. However, I can see prices going up because we broke our ribbon line. And now since it broke that, price is technically in a buy on the daily. So what we really need to be looking for on the indices are buys. Now, this is why I say that, because we can already see that price needs to come back and retest this area up here before it even decides to sell. But we have all the diversions and price telling us that a buy is still coming. So the market technically is not in a sale. So although we may be chasing the sale because the other day, we all know, whatever that was on the news, they dropped that little news and then price ended up making this huge gap right here. So what they're doing right now is they're trapping a lot of traders, novice traders, new traders, and people who don't really know how to read the market. They're trapping you into thinking that price is going to come down here and fill this gap when it's not. All right, it will fill this gap eventually, but only after we retest this level here or we retest this block up here. Now let's go down one more time frame. So on a 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we did have a buy, right? We did have a buy. The trend is still up. However, we're missing two signals now because we currently have a down signal and then we have a break of our SUDI line. So with those two signals being broken, that tells us that price is kind of making a shift, but it's not a shift. It's just a dramatic pullback that we had this morning that caused these two signals to do this. And what that's necessarily doing is faking a lot of traders out and setting everybody up for the sale so that they can eventually come down, stop everybody out, and then continue with the game plan with pushing the price up. So now let's go to the 1 hour. So now right here on the 1 hour, as you can tell, we have a up arrow, right? So I can tell as I go lower, the momentum is starting to shift, right? So with that momentum shifting, I can see that price is starting to get ready to switch back over, go back into the buy, which what we will be looking for is price to switch and go back into that buy, right? I go down to the 30-minute. The 30-minute looks like it wants to confirm right now. It hasn't, but it wants to. It needs to cross the SUDI line and then give us that cross back to the upside before we can say that price is going to go into a sell. But right now, I'm back into the buy. So right now, what we're doing is we're kind of just sitting on our hands, right? Then once I come to the 15, I can tell that the 15 is already in that trend. Only thing missing from this time frame is the trend cross. So once we get that trend cross, I'm pretty sure that's when the buy will start to happen again once we get that trend cross. But not until we come down here, swipe this low, stop people out, get everybody thinking that it's a sell again. And then it may even come here, you know, it may even come right here. So these are the two areas that I will be targeting, right? Both of these two areas, these are the two areas that I will be targeting for this buy. Now, another thing that tells me that they're not going to do that is they're trapping novice traders with this wick here on the monthly. Yes, we will cover the wick. However, we're going into a new month starting tomorrow, right? So whenever we're going into that new month, you can already anticipate that the start of that new month will more than likely go in the wrong direction before it actually goes into the right direction. That's how you get the highs and the lows of each candle. Price typically goes the wrong way first, and then it goes the correct way. And then that's when you know price is actually on this trend. So right here, what I would want to see is I would want to see price pull back up into this area, retest this area up here, and then we get the hard rejection off of this level, pushing price back down here, ultimately covering this wick. And then after that, that's all she wrote. We're buying the rest of the year. All right. So if I come back down here to my 5-minute time frame and I'm looking for an entry, what I will be looking for on US30 is one, a reset, right? I would want to see price kind of reset back down here into this area down here. And then once price get back down here in this area, what I'll end up doing is I'll be waiting to see for the next trend, right? I'll be looking for the next setup, which is the up arrow, the dot, the cross, the break of the SUDI line, and the arrow, right? And once I have all four of those on the next go round, I guarantee you that's where the buy will start. And then US30 will buy more than likely into the first half of next week before we even consider selling all the way back down and covering those big gaps that we have down there. All right, so that's what I want you guys to realize. I want you to look at the chart. I want you to realize what's going on, not fall for the traps, and understand that the market makes these fake outs. But if you really pay close attention and you look at what's going on, you can see which way the market is actually going. So check out this video, watch it over, until you figure out which, until you can kind of understand what it is exactly that I'm explaining. And then if you need that software, man, you know where to get it. Check out that website, www.sudiedgepro.com, right? So this is what you got to do. This is how you see the trades, and this is how we stay on the right side of the market. Now, give it time, because all we can do is find a play, get into the entry, set it and forget it. And now we're going to go ahead and just make this bag. So let's get it.